Totes Recall.
Ooh, welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we can't barely remember, pause on the record, eat 2 pizzas and 2 salads while watching the movie in question, come back for a second half of the show, talking again about the very same movie, trying to figure out what we got right and wrong, how does it hold up under the harsh gaze of current year. My name is Dan.
This is Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this extra, very super special episode is...
What's special about it?
It's Respect Listener Opinion Month, my dear boy.
Oh, the specialist episode of all.
The month in which you, the listener, hopefully, voted and... No, first you nominated, then you voted.
It's fine.
And then we watched the movie picked by you. So fun. And it is The Sandlot.
Oh, The Sandlot.
Summertime, summer fun.
The crack of the bat.
Oh, it's about
Whiff of the
baseball.
ball.
That's right. The bark of the dog.
The swoosh of the s'more.
Okay.
The kick of the dust.
Yeah.
These are summer.
Pitch of the mound. Hey, summer. So The Sandlot, I have never seen it.
Oh,
Is
wow.
it about children playing sport?
Yes.
Great.
How about, I have seen it. I believe I watched it in shop class in junior high school.
That is so specific and not at all where I would expect.
I'll get more specific, in a summer shop class.
Oh.
when I was in junior high school.
Do you remember the teacher's name?
No, but I remember the shop class. It was the same place where I would later go and do work on robots in high school. We would go
Nice.
back to the junior high wood shop class, and we would cut aluminum with wood saws, and it was dangerous.
Wow, fun.
No one got a piece of flying aluminum in their face or
Oh, that's
anybody,
good.
though they did fly.
Were you
Ooh,
wearing
yikes.
goggles?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Were you watching the movie while workshopping, or were you just sitting there in a shop watching a movie?
I
Same
think
question.
it was like, oh, this is the last day. If you finished your whatever
I see.
car, I think we made, Derby, Pinewood
Sure.
Derby
Sure.
cars or whatever, then you can watch this movie. I'll put it on.
That
Got
makes
it.
sense. You don't want to start a new birdhouse or something.
No.
Yeah.
And just because it doesn't have anything to do with woodworking,
I don't think so.
except for bats are made of wood.
Yes.
Typically.
Think about that.
Some are aluminum.
And I feel like there's a fence that's important.
Yes.
I think so.
A
there's-
wooden
Well,
fence?
Yeah.
I think there's a tree
Metal
house
fence.
also built with wood.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so actually I take it back. This is entirely based on
Yeah.
woodworking.
Well, before we get too far down there, would you, Molly, like to do a Union
Oh,
Strong
God.
pre-call?
Oh, sure. This
Yeah,
won't
you
take
do.
long. I won't need the full 60 seconds.
Well, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Go.
We open on a dripping ice cream cone that has fallen from a kid's hand, and they're sad. And then it's a movie about baseball, and it's a ragtag team, and no one thinks that they can win. They're going to go up against some elite kids, but they believe in themselves because their coach doesn't believe in them at first because he's always drunk, and maybe he's Charlie Sheen. But then
30 seconds.
eventually everybody believes in them, and the whole community turns out, and like where the stands have been empty before, people are really cheering, and there's a sassy girl with pigtails who's maybe the pitcher, and maybe the only girl, maybe there are two. And in the end, they either win the championship or they lose, but they still feel really good about themselves.
10 seconds.
And it will end on like a freeze frame of the team doing high fives. And someone falls in love.
Time.
The coach.
With the coach?
No, the coach falls in love.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
Coach.
Okay, that's my best pre-call. I
That's
really
great.
cannot even picture the poster.
Did we, or I should say, have we, the three,
Yeah.
seen this as an adult?
No.
No.
I think I saw it one time when I was a kid, and I can barely remember what it's about.
Same.
This feels like a movie that I may have watched, half watched at some point in adolescence or like lazy college adulthood, young adulthood, but I don't know for sure. I definitely watched it multiple times as a child.
Yeah. It is set in like the 50s, right?
What?
Something like
It's set
that.
in old times, but made in the 90s. When I watched it, I was like, is this an old movie? And now I'm like, I don't think so. I think it's probably like a 90s movie or an 80s movie, but set in the 50s.
Yeah, it's got
It looks dusty.
it has like Christmas story energy in the sense that it takes place many decades before it was made,
Yeah.
and there is an adult version of the child narrating it.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't remember which child or how much narration there actually is.
Is there a kid with hair that goes straight up, or is that the Little Rascals?
I mean, it is the Little Rascals, but it might also be this movie. This is very much a like Gremlins 2 of kids from that era playing baseball. Like
Okay.
I feel like all the kids have their own little deals, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't. Go ahead, Beth.
I was going to say, I don't think they're in a league or anything. I think they're just playing. I think they just play ball with,
It's just the neighborhood boys getting together,
and it's the
loving
Sandlot
summer. Yeah.
is right next to a scary house.
Yes. There's like an old man.
And a scary
A
dog.
scary dog. No, I want to say hero, but that's not it.
Hercules.
Hercules. I was like, it starts with an H.
Oh, wow. That's a strong
Is he
name.
a Saint Bernard?
Great
Seems like a
question.
thing. Lots of drool.
Big dog for sure.
Big drooly
Big
dog.
drooly dog for sure.
So there's
gonna say
lots of
pit
like
bull.
the ball gets hit over the fence and they have to get the ball.
They're terrified.
They're scared.
Yeah.
Slopper.
Scarified.
Huh?
Do they have a coach? There's no coach.
I don't think- I
it's
think
just
it's
boys
kid-based.
hanging.
I think
Yeah.
they're just hanging.
And I think it might be all boys.
Does some tragedy
Yeah.
strike, or is it a comedy, or both?
I feel like
Is this going to be a My Girl situation?
No.
I don't. No.
No.
Not
Okay.
full My Girl,
way.
no.
I feel like the only tragedy might just be like, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to be a kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think because I'm thinking like it's kind of like Stand By Me energy,
I was
but
gonna
it's
say that
but
too.
it's much goofier, I think.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Stand By Me if they never went anywhere and all had like
They never saw a
pretty
dead
decent.
body.
Yeah, they all had like pretty okay lives. It's like, but it's the same tone of children.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
And I think the old man's not actually scary at the end.
No, they befriend
They
him.
befriend the old man.
I am gonna go so far to say that these young lads learn some important life lessons over the course of this summer.
Oh,
Are there any Corys in this
Great
group?
question.
wow.
I don't think so.
I think it's too late for
Yeah.
Corey's. I
Okay.
want to say this is like an early 90s movie.
Me too.
Are we talking about
You want to
that,
put a number on that?
that Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
92.
era?
I think it's the era where he could have been in it, but I don't think he is.
Is anyone famous that we know in it?
Yes,
Hmm.
but I could not tell you if any of those people are the children. But
Oh.
there is at least one famous adult in it.
Ooh, who's
Oh.
that?
It's a parent?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out.
Wow.
Oh, I
Withholding
see.
information.
I see how
Old
it is.
man is that guy from Babe, the old man from Babe.
Oh,
And
really?
6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
James.
James.
Oh,
Yeah. James George.
Shit. What is his name?
James Patterson. That's an author, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh, we've
Ian.
looked it up so many times.
I know.
I know who
James
you're
Mc-
talking about.
No.
James Walter.
Cornell. No.
No.
Corey.
No.
I keep on wanting to say Alistair. James A something. I don't
Anyway,
know.
I'm probably wrong for how much time we're spending on trying to remember his
That's
name.
fine.
But
It's
that's
probably not
my
even
guess.
James.
It's
I'm
part of.
betting it's a James.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
An evil James.
Ooh.
Oh.
The mythologically evil, but in reality, good.
Got it.
What?
The child mythology
Oh,
of
is that
Neighbor.
he is an evil man?
Yeah.
But he's
now
fine.
we would say lore.
Oh,
sure. Head canon.
Yes. This.
The children's head canon.
Yes, I recall.
Beth, can you cut out that part where I say, now we call it lore? That sounded really pretentious and weird.
No, it's
No.
staying in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody needs to know.
Does
Yeah.
anybody else want to put a year on it? Beth said 92. I'm going to say
Oh.
90.
Ooh, man, I'm gonna say 92.
Wow.
Wow. I will say 91. I graduated from high school in 92, so this would be nowhere on my radar.
No,
Sure,
you're
sure.
too busy smoking cigs, riding your hog.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. I no time for baseball.
No, or
Baseball.
kid
They didn't
movies.
play this since the Soviet Union.
That's right.
Yeah. Where are they? Are they in Middle America?
Yeah, I don't know if
Ohio?
it's specified,
Yeah.
but it's
That's a good
definitely like
guess.
it's a very good guess. It's for
Yeah.
sure like
I'm going to say Indiana.
sure. Like
Also a good guess.
It's huge. It is huge. Like the version of America we've tricked ourselves is ideal and existed at any point for everyone.
Like
Yep.
there's corn and stuff.
I don't know if there's corn, but it's definitely just like, you know what I mean? It's just very
There
much
is
like,
corn.
it's like post-war, like look at the incredible stability and pleasantness we've created
Yeah.
in the suburbs of America. Everyone's fine. There might not be any black children in this movie. I'm not sure. So
I'm
we'll
going to say,
see.
I'm going to guess 1.
Okay. I love it. I hope so.
Is there going to be a girl with like braids or something?
I bet she's hanging on the side.
Or maybe
a-
like
make a
somebody's
little
little sister.
Yeah.
That's a hot bet.
I don't think there's any girls that like are part of the crew.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
like
I
an
don't
outsider,
remember.
if there is.
Will it pass back to Wallace?
No.
Yeah.
I doubt
That's
it.
my guess.
It's like the 12 Angry Men of children's baseball movies.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure,
I like
sure.
that.
Dan's bet. This movie will teach young men a bad lesson
Oh.
in a very innocuous way.
Okay.
Like it is presented. I don't want to ruin it for people, but there is just like, you know, like there is a boy with a crush. And I feel like the way he goes about
Oh, is this,
enacting that crush.
let's see, it's within the realm of you gotta get her.
Right.
You gotta be like positive, you gotta be confident
Yeah.
and just take.
This
Right.
is not
What's
like a mystery type situation.
What
Isn't
do you
that that guy's name?
Oh, no.
Oh,
It's
the
more,
game?
it's more just like, it is like literally the actual innocent version of boys being boys or boys will be
okay.
boys. But like then when you extrapolate it out, it's just like, oh yeah, that's
Okay.
not
That'll
great.
be fun. That'll be fun to see.
yeah.
Are there? I can't remember any other like conflicts besides the fence.
I feel like here's what I think maybe the narrator is like a new kid in town. Does that sound
Oh,
right?
sure.
Because he definitely there's
It's like my summer in this town.
Because there's definitely
Oh.
like there has to be a new person to be us, right? There has to be an audience surrogate, so we are introduced to all these kids,
Sure.
in a way that's not just like here they are,
Hi,
Right.
my name's Toby.
Yeah.
I'm from the house across the street.
right? Like there
Yeah.
has to be some excuse for at least some of the kids to like in any way like have expository dialogue about themselves.
Do we think there'll be lots of like nicknames like
Yes,
Yeah.
for
Butch
sure.
and Buddy and
Squeaker.
I'm guessing at least
Mousy?
I'm gonna say
Chuckles.
minimum 2 of them have nicknames.
And similar to the last movie we watched, I bet there will be a larger child who has a
Whose thing is
large child nickname
yeah, or has
Like
large
Thud.
child
or Chunks.
activities or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I also like the name Toby as an option.
Thank
that
you.
feels like a Sandlot kid name.
Yeah.
I felt really strong about that too. Thanks, Beth.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Write that down.
Good guess.
Gonna be so mad.
I'm being hopeful, and I'm also going to assume this is part of the reason it did so well. Assuming it did
It did
well
well?
in
I mean-
Arlam.
It did the best.
But I mean, was it a squeaker or did it like?
No,
No, is it?
it was a home
The big-
run.
Okay.
It went over the
Then
fence.
I am going to say, with the confidence of our listeners behind me, that this movie is very charming.
Oh.
That seems promising.
Like,
Oh God, is there animal danger?
Well, there's
I
a
don't-
slobbery dog.
I think the dog is very scary to them. Like it's
And
a big dog, and
Okay.
so I think they're trying to maneuver around him and stuff.
I think because they're so scared of the dog, they might like overcorrect to try to protect themselves from the dog.
Okay.
So I think the dog might like get. I feel like the dog might get into harm's way, but not in like a severe way. You know
Okay.
what I mean? But
Okay.
I think that maybe because they're so scared of it, they might at some point like mildly injure the dog.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Okay, but there's no like elderly dog at the bottom of
No.
a hole crying out.
What about like
Okay.
a bad kid who wants to like kill a squirrel or something?
I don't know.
With
I'm
a
trying.
slingshot.
Like
There's gonna be a slingshot. That's one of my
I love
bets.
that. I'm honestly trying to remember if like there are any kids in this movie that are like the bad. You know what I mean? Like I can't remember if they have like enemies in this movie at
Like,
all.
Rich kids who play at a field that has grass
or
in
even
it.
just like that kid they don't like. I'm
Sure.
trying to. I don't remember there being any like actual antagonists in this movie. Like I feel like it is just sort of like a charming ride through Middle America.
Yeah.
And do they ever not play baseball?
Yes.
Like, do we see them at home or like it's summer?
They do other stuff.
Okay.
Like they are.
Get
Or an
milk
ice cream
money?
truck?
Ice cream truck's great bet.
I mean,
Great bet.
yeah, I thought that dripping ice cream at the beginning was
Yeah.
a very good guess.
No,
Thank
they
you.
for sure do other things, but that is like what brings them together in the first place is that they all play baseball together.
Yeah.
But it's like very much like my summer with the Sandlot boys.
Someone has parents that are going through it. They're like a single mom or alcoholic dad.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
like
just
came
see
back from the war and just
Yeah.
doesn't know how to deal.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You get a glimpse of that.
I don't know which war because I don't remember which decade this movie takes place in.
Yeah.
but-
I'm betting 50s, though I'm nervous it's the 30s.
no,
Oh, you
I
think
would.
it's even-
I think it'd be closer to now.
Oh.
Like 60s.
I feel like 50s would be the. I feel like 50s would be the earliest it could
Oh,
possibly
really?
be.
Okay. It's so dusty and
In my
sepia-toned, in my opinion.
You're thinking like it's Dust Bowl kind of
Like-
times?
30s?
That was my second guess after 50s.
They do certain activities that
Television?
a drought would not
Oh.
be conducive
Playing,
for.
playing a fire hydrant?
There's
Sprinkler?
some water activities in this movie. So
Okay.
I just feel like it would have to be
Community pool?
not Dust Bowl times.
But I am thinking that Little Rascals is probably like 30.
For sure.
Oh, okay. I'm probably conflating those two.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, just this premise is making me think of the softball field where I played when I was in
Nice.
high school. And we
Was
would
there a scary dog next door?
No, but it was mostly dirt. And I remember one time we couldn't play the game. It was canceled because there was a sinkhole in the outfield.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like a actual dangerous large sinkhole. And then I remember another time walking by and there were 3 kids. I think I was taking pictures for a photography class. And there were 3 boys who were playing basketball, but they didn't have a basketball, and actually it was just the rim. There was no net on the, and this was
Classic.
it was just a basketball net on the edge of this also softball field. So it was also dirt. Anyway, they had taken a piece of notebook paper and balled it up, and they were playing basketball with that. It was pretty.
That's so charming.
It was a good picture, but yeah, it was pretty dusty.
This
So
made me question what the point of a net is. Like
Oh.
you just really need the hoop, right?
Yeah, I think the net helps you to see that it went through.
Okay.
I think it also slows it down a little.
So it doesn't just shoot through
Yeah.
and hit somebody in the head.
Right.
Got it.
But I think it is mostly what Dan said, that it's just easier to see
Okay.
that it for sure happened.
All right. I'm just like, why did they add the net?
it's
Well, you
nice
can
that they
say
have the
nothing but net?
backboard.
Wasn't it originally like a basket? That's why it's called basketball?
Oh, maybe.
Come on,
Yeah.
you're the sportsman.
Yeah, I'm
It
a
was
sportsman.
originally a basket.
Didn't they just like cut a basket open and
I don't even know if they thought to cut the hole.
Oh, they just
open
had
at
to go in the
first.
basket and then they'd have to go pick it out of the
Well,
basket
I'm
every
sure
time.
they figured it out, but
There's an old Aztec game that had a
Like a
hoop that
yeah.
went vertical.
There was like a ring of
Yeah.
stone that they
Yeah,
like
vertical.
Yeah.
Horizontal, vertical.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think the winners were killed, and it was like an honor.
The winners were killed?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
that's rough.
That is intense. I would try to lose.
Well, but
I
you want
mean-
to honor the gods, right? Right?
Wow, Beth,
Beth?
Wow. Beth?
you're not.
Beth?
I don't know that
Do you
I-
want good crops this year?
You like Quetzalcoatl to be cool?
All right. Okay.
You sure it's that god?
I guess if it's
No, that's just the only one that's close.
for,
Maybe.
I would be the last picked anyway on that team.
You think so?
Ball
Yeah.
hooper.
I think I could make it and still
Yeah, what
honor
if
the
you're a
gods.
bench warmer? Like, what if your team wins, but you just like your coach was like, oh, I'm not putting in Chase.
I don't. Yeah, I guess I don't know if they had bench
Bench
players
warmers?
Or
Okay.
even benches.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fair.
they hadn't invented the bench.
Maybe those were
The
vertical
gods
too.
hadn't given them benches yet.
Right. Only chairs.
That's right. Does anybody die in this movie?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Or at least not a kid.
Well, sure, not a
Maybe
kid.
somebody's like has a
like someone's
someone's
grandma,
grandpa or
and
something.
they have to
Maybe,
like go
yeah.
to an open casket,
Maybe.
and it's weird.
yeah.
I think that's too intense
You
for
think so?
Sandlot. I guess I don't remember it being like that. That is like Stand By Me kind
Right.
of Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Sandlot's a little bit like more fun.
I agree, but it is also just like a slice of life. So
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm not completely,
I don't know.
like I don't want to completely discount the possibility.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Excited.
Fair.
Yeah.
It
'Cause, like-
sounds like a gentle movie.
I feel like it's pretty gentle.
Yeah.
I remember
sounds
being
great.
like very, I don't know. I remember just really enjoying this movie as a kid, and just like it was just a very like pleasant experience.
Wow. There's no anti-hero, and then you got to watch a battle that takes 3 hours.
No,
and then
man.
a bunch of Mr. Smiths go flying into the air or whatever.
Nope.
Nope.
Great.
Just
I'm for
baseball,
it.
which is also very long. And
Oh,
boring.
boring.
True.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
through the power of movies, their games are edited heavily.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right. Well, Molly, how should we rate this?
Oh, last minute bet. There's going to be several pairs. At least one pair of black Converse high tops.
Wow.
Mm,
Okay.
that's a good bet.
Follow up, not at all follow, but also a
Mm-hmm.
last minute bet. Someone will two dog in this movie
Oh, I love it.
Eat 2 hot dogs
at once. Yes,
I love it.
And by eat too hot, I mean like in terms of like a eating
One in
contest,
each
just
hand.
one in each hand.
Yeah, that's all two dogging.
Two dogging.
It's
For
hold-
people who
it's
don't
holding the
know,
hot
two
dogs.
dogging means you have two hot dogs in hand.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. One in each hand.
Yes, specifically.
Yeah.
There you go. Great.
Now, how should we mate this movie? Mate this Roovie.
Dusty Dog.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Dusty dog.
Is this finally Dan's dog character?
Yes.
Dusty Dog?
It is. It's Dusty
Awesome.
Dog.
I love it. Let's explore what Dusty Dog is before I take a stab at it.
Okay, well, Dusty Dog, obviously,
Real down to earth.
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe Southern.
He's got kind of like what's the kid in
The Griff?
Peanuts that
Oh.
has
Pigpen?
like he's
Pigpen?
got Pigpen energy.
got
Nice.
swirly.
He's got like
Yeah.
swirly dust.
Yeah.
He
Around, yeah.
auditioned for Griff, the crime fighting dog, but didn't get it.
Yeah.
Why? Why didn't he book it?
Not gruff enough.
Oh,
yeah.
too.
Still passionate about crime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wears a duster, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, so is that why he got the name Dusty, but then he just happens to also just be like kind of dirty all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
because he's always trying to fight crime.
Oh, sure.
And so
you get
he's
scuffed
on the
up.
streets.
Right.
And his
Yeah.
given name is Dustin. So
Oh,
it all
yeah.
kind of
It all
comes
just kinda
together.
worked.
Yeah,
out.
more of a bounty hunter, sheriff type than a police inspector.
Got it.
Yeah, he's a dog
Yes.
and a bounty hunter.
Okay.
And a lawyer.
Whoa. Wow. That's, wow. All right.
Yeah. Tan colored dog.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Short hair, long hair.
Short hair.
Short hair.
Okay. I guess that would make sense for the dust clouds because
Sure.
long
Yeah.
hair would all just like clump up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that you'd see it with the duster on.
Mm-mm.
Cool. Well,
How many of those do you give?
great question. As I said, I remember really enjoying this movie and finding it charming AF. Fuck. I forgot that's my bit. I forgot that was my bit from 2 years ago or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to give it a confident 4 with room to grow.
Wow.
Wow.
Beth, how many dusty dogs?
Oh man, I don't really remember anything about this movie, but I mean, listeners can't be wrong, right?
Certainly not.
Okay, I'm also gonna say 4 with room to grow.
Nice.
I'm going to be like a beginner yoga and be
A
yoga.
what?
Beginner what?
Let me take that again. It's going to pay off. I'm going to be like a beginner yoga class and be kind of a downward dog and say 2.
Oh.
Wow.
Worth it?
Nope.
Nope.
Did it in 2 takes.
You're doing great, Dan.
Thank you very much. I remember being bored by this in junior high school.
Ooh.
Well, you were in junior high school.
Yeah.
You were probably like losing your mind because you were flooded with your own hormones.
Sounds like
Sure.
it was also the last day of school.
Yeah, and you were like all
It was
antsy.
summer. It was like a summer class.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my god!
Of
You'd
course
already
you were bored
finished
by
your
it.
derby car.
Yeah.
You
like,
wanted to
let
be
me
out.
go home.
You want me
Right.
to watch other kids be
Oh,
outside?
play Nintendo.
Oh, I see.
That actually is horrible.
Yeah.
Look at these kids have fun during the summer.
So I have, light negative feelings
Sure.
about it. I'm prepared to go into Cobra.
What?
or another upward facing yoga move.
Oh, damn.
I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this.
But as for now, 2.
Great.
Great.
Molly,
we
the
got there.
finale.
Oh, I thank you. Okay, late breaking Dusty Dog piece of information.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Dusty Dog has a catchphrase, and it's "rrr, rrr, rrr." So you're
So
welcome.
it's not really a phrase. It's just a certain bark.
Catch
Well, it's
bark.
kind of like I love
like a
you.
catch
Rrr,
bark.
rrr. It's a catch bark.
I see.
Okay, typically I would just give this 3 because I have no idea, and that way I have room to go up or down.
Yeah.
But I believe in our listeners,
Nice.
and I believe in our listeners so harder than any of you.
Whoa.
I am gonna go 5.
Wow.
Dusty Dogs.
Dog.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that. Reading us for filth on our respect for the listeners.
Wow.
Incredible.
They respect a diverse set of viewpoints.
True,
That's true.
Yeah.
as far as we know.
But sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that, we're going to press pause, go watch The Sandlot, and we'll be right back.
Hey, listeners, it's me, mid-roll master Dan, the best Dan who ever did it.
Wow.
And by it, I mean everything.
What?
Folks, it's May. We are creeping up on the season of summer.
Mm-hmm.
And what says summer more than sleeveless
Oh, yeah.
tops?
Mm-hmm.
The
Perhaps,
sun is out in May.
and perhaps
That's where those May flowers come from.
one's guns should also be out.
Exactly.
And by guns, I mean
Arms.
thick muscled
Yeah.
arms.
Don't actually have guns.
Yeah. Hey, we don't sell those.
Yeah.
But you know what we do sell?
Should we? No.
We sell tank tops
Okay.
Okay.
that are promoting certain wonderful, magical, horny camps, I believe.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is that true?
I think we have a
I don't know if we
For
have a
Dirty
tank top
Dancing?
version of
We
that.
probably should.
We have a t-shirt version
Well,
of it.
nice.
There you
And
go.
you
the
just cut
sleeves
off
off.
Yeah,
those
hey,
sleeves. Yeah, there
that's
you
a
go.
style. That's
That's
a
a
style.
style.
Do we have a billionaires or bad lovers?
Terrible lovers.
Terrible
Terrible
lovers. And
lovers.
yes, we do.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Express your rage at the current state of capitalism and modern life. With,
No better summer for it. It's
Oh,
terrible
I should get one.
billionaire
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
You've heard
Yeah.
of
The
hot
time
girl
to get
summer.
one.
You've heard of White Boy Summer?
You've heard of
from
White Boy Summer,
Colin-
unfortunately.
Not Colin Hanks, the other
Chet
one.
Hanks.
Chet Hanks.
It's
Billionaires are terrible
lovers summer.
lovers summer, or just terrible. Feel free to
Terrible
put some
billionaires.
electrical tape on the lovers word if you want to be more generalized. Also, you
Or
could,
leave on lovers because that's where it hurts.
for sure, because they're all insecure man babies.
Yeah, I'll have to make a dick-shaped rocket.
Oh,
You know what? We also sell beach towels.
right.
fun.
Yeah.
In case you need to sun your guns before you put on that tank,
Sure.
gotta cool it.
sit yourself
You
on
know-
a beach towel.
You get a little bit thirsty sitting out in the sun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get your Totes Recall water bottle.
Oh, wow. That's like a summer combo pack.
Yeah.
Oh, do we have that?
You got to do it yourself. Choose your own combo pack.
Yeah.
It's an a la carte combo.
I don't know how to do that.
Beach
so-
towel, billionaires and terrible lovers tank, water bottle.
Yeah,
If you buy all 3 of those,
you get all 3.
you get all 3.
Wow, what a deal. Beth, if I were a cool person who wanted to look hot this summer, where would I go?
You would go to bootypatrol.totesrecall.com or more accurately, totesrecall.com/merch.
Merch it up.
Or maybe merch.totesrecall.com.
I mean, all those do go to the same place.
Yeah.
You can probably just go to totesrecall.com and click the link.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
You can maybe search for it too. You might get there.
Billionaires are terrible lovers. Tank top. No one else is selling them.
I hope so.
Oh,
And
if
if they
somebody
are,
else
we're
does,
suing.
we are coming after
War. It's war.
you. You watch out, Etsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would steal
We'll save that for the next mid roll.
it.
Oh, right. This is the mid roll.
Yes,
And now back to the show.
And we're back. We just watched 1 hour and 40 minutes of a single montage.
Wow.
Interesting.
of some boys trying to recover a ball.
Is not fair.
You don't even lose the ball till like 2/3 of the way through.
Oh, God, that montage was epic.
Yep, it was.
Well, I'm excited to get into it.
No, you're not. Just go. Just go.
I felt frustrated by this movie. Occasionally, I found myself saying out loud, God, this movie. What did I
Occasionally.
say?
Just a lot of heavy
A
sighing.
lot of heavy sign, a lot of like dumb, stupid
But then at one point, maniacal laughter.
cackling. It was a journey. It was a journey to watch this movie with Molly.
Yeah.
Like more than the movie itself, I think, was watching with Molly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A surprise journey for.
Yeah, for all of us.
Yeah.
I was surprised by my own reaction. I'm so appreciative. Thank you, listeners.
Too late.
Thank you, listeners. Another thing people get thanked for is doing 60-second summary.
Wow.
Our
Wow.
segment.
Good.
That is the most thanked segment in the podcast realm.
Absolutely. In all of podcastery.
Yeah. And the tradition in this Sandlot is that I volunteer to do it, but I know I just did it.
You sure
It's
did.
true.
And I don't think Molly's done it in a while.
I don't know if we're gonna. I mean,
Yeah,
all right.
sure. I'll do it.
We'll see how accurate we get through all the clenched teeth. Are you ready?
I think so, yes.
Go.
Oh, we open on California, some valley, something. I don't know.
Some
there's
valley?
this, the narrator is an adult, and it's sort of like a Christmas Story because he narrates and he talks about how he'd moved to a new place, and it was 2 weeks before the end of school, and he wasn't going to make any new friends. But that's before he meets Benny. Benny is a kid who's really, really good at baseball, and he plays the Sandlot, and this kid's too shy, and he can't play at all. And then Benny helps him through extraordinary acts of
30 seconds.
friendship. He plays baseball all summer. One of the little crappers that he plays with tricks a lifeguard into kissing him through CPR. They lose a Babe Ruth ball that gets hit over a wall, and the Beast, and there's some vacuum cleaners, and they try lots of different ways to get it.
10 seconds.
Eventually, they meet the owner of the house. They should have just knocked on the door in the first place. And it's James Earl Jones, and he's awesome. And they talk baseball, and then you see them slowly disappear from the lot in the creepiest.
Time.
fashion
You'll
possible.
never know.
Wow.
I gave you 4 extra seconds because I
Thank
fucked
you.
up.
Oh, sorry.
We've gone into
I
extra
don't know.
innings
I
here.
felt like that
Nice. Baseball.
That's baseball.
was. You can hold your reward for this segment.
You are so like deflated by this movie.
I was just expecting something different. It just occurred to me midway through that
I mean, your summer. Should we go over her pre-call?
Yeah, sure.
To
Sure, let's go my
understand
pre-call
why
first.
she was so disappointed.
yeah,
Opens on dripping ice cream.
nope.
No
No.
ice cream.
Baseball's played by a ragtag group of kids.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then there's elite kids.
Oh, there were.
There were elite
There
kids.
were out of nowhere
For one
for almost no point. The coach is a drunk and it's Charlie Sheet.
Nope.
No coach.
No coach.
Community Furs Ot. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, 100%. Sassy pitcher. In the end, they win or lose. Actually, sort of no, because there's no big game.
No.
I think I said girl with pigtails.
Oh.
I think
Girl
that's
with
what that
Sassy
was.
girl with
Sassy girl with
pigtails.
pigtails. There was not.
Eat Bud or freeze high five. Oh, ends with a freeze frame high five.
Got it.
Nope.
No.
And the coach falls in love.
Nope.
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 I'll just tally those scores. 100% Utah.
Wow. But also, not what she was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were picturing more of a sports movie.
Yes.
Not algorithm, formula.
Yeah. No, I mean, and honestly, had I seen this movie when it came out in 93?
Did anyone get that?
Nope.
Poop.
I probably would have liked it more. I just feel like my cold, cold heart is just so tired of just like, I don't know. There's just so much like dude energy around baseball. And this guy made a whole movie just about remembering playing baseball one summer. And it got made. And I don't know. That upsets me somehow.
I mean, it's a coming of age movie, right?
But so slowly. It's just like, it's just like Prairie Home Companion if it were as boring as baseball.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
No. But,
It's like trite and quaint and slow and American and patriotic, and you feel bad about not enjoying it, but sometimes you just don't. I feel awful. I'm a terrible person. Beth, cut all this out. Tell everyone I loved it.
No, that's disingenuous.
And that I just passed out, and that's why you don't hear from me again.
That's even worse. That's American.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry, listeners. I am so sorry.
We you're fine. We did have some fun named kids.
Yes, we did bet there would be some nicknamed children.
Yeah, I only wrote down the fun names, which
There's
was
3 nicknamed kids.
yeah, Squints, the kid with the glasses. Yeah, the kid who says yeah before he says anything else.
Yeah.
And then Ham, who is the
Hamilton Porter.
the large child.
Although, technically, Smalls is kind of a nickname,
Sure.
right?
Isn't that his last name?
It is,
Yeah.
but it's a convenient last name.
Yeah.
Sure.
And this is the movie where we get the line, "You're killing me, Smalls."
Right.
I didn't know that came from a movie.
I thought it was
Oh.
from Billy Madison. What's
Huh.
that one? They it's a red-haired kid.
What are you talking about?
Oh, it's a different movie, different line apparently. Unless they also use it in that movie.
Wait, isn't that the movie where every grade he has like one of the kids from a certain family, and then they just like
O'Doyle's.
yell? Yeah, the
O'Doyle's Rule.
O'Doyle's Rule.
Yep.
Is that what you're thinking of? That is so
Doyle's Rule.
different.
Yeah, Beth got it though, didn't she?
Sure. I mean, I did too, but I just assumed like it can't be talking about
I
that.
think it's probably just things my friend Pete from college
There we
said.
go. Shout out to Pete.
Yeah, shout out to Pete. He was a good friend. He liked baseball probably. Probably still does.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that you saying that or for Pete's sake?
He, I believe, was
For
a
Pete's sake.
Ah,
for Pete's sake, Cubs fan. He's from Iowa, though. They don't have
sure.
a baseball team.
It's true.
He's got to
He
pick
was in
one.
Chicago.
Sure.
Just like Dennis Leary, the stepdad of this movie, takes a business trip to Chicago.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary is not a good dad.
But he's also not like unconventionally bad.
yeah.
He's just not trying at all.
Yeah, but he's like, to me, he read as a very normal dad of that era.
yeah.
Like he's too busy being a business workman to get too invested in a child that isn't his.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he's probably just tired all the time.
But even then, there's like this whole part of the story where Smalls doesn't know who Babe Ruth is.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And I've just found that like kind of unbelievable that Dennis Leary at one point wouldn't be like, oh, this ball is Babe Ruth.
Right.
Like, I mean, I feel like if he's so into baseball, he'd be talking about baseball
But
all
he
the time.
doesn't even share listening to it on the radio.
No, he doesn't engage with his stepson.
It's bizarre.
It's not a good, he's just not a good, he probably had a rough childhood himself
Yeah.
and doesn't know, like,
Maybe he never pictured himself as a father.
or deep down, he's like worried that he's going to fuck it up, but it then it expresses itself outwardly as neglect and indifference.
Yeah.
And he only
Okay.
steps up when his wife is basically like,
Hey,
honey.
Right.
Steps up.
Oh, he's the dad who stepped up. That's
Yeah.
a shirt.
Yeah.
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 Fair.
With Dennis Leary on it.
No, well, maybe there should be.
The dad who stepped up.
Somebody but yeah. No, I mean, the first note I wrote is, Bill, you suck.
Yeah.
Because he's just very dismissive about his poor Scotty Smalls. I felt for that kid so much at the beginning.
Oh,
Where he's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
talking to himself, be like, don't be a goofus as he tries to pick up a ball.
I felt that so hard. As
No.
a child who grew up in a neighborhood with no kids my own age, I really felt that real hard of him just being like, don't fuck this up. Like, these are the only other children around.
And
Were
he
you-
does fuck it
Were
up.
you the youngest then?
Yes.
Okay.
Or, I mean, I was the youngest of the children that I was capable of spending time with, but like there were other kids who were like too young.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had sort of an idyllic like suburban experience through a lot of my childhood, where everybody played outside and you went in when the street lights went out.
Nice.
Climbed trees and just ran around.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Would have loved that.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. But there were only like 2 kids who were exactly my age. So you really had to like hope that at least one of them was available.
Sure.
Otherwise, I had to play with Seth, who was like a boy. He was like
Seth.
a year or 2 older than I was, and he thought I was pretty dumb.
Ugh.
But sometimes I was his only option. But because of him, I learned to climb trees, and I
Nice.
climbed way higher than I probably should have, just based on not wanting to be outdone.
Nice. So if anything, Seth was a good
He was like
stepstone.
a Bill. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a step dad, step bro, step
Seth,
stone.
The friends who steps.
Yeah,
You got to
there
step
you
on
go.
a branch
the tree.
Yeah,
to get to the top.
like a tree.
Like a tree.
Like a tree. And then his entire experience, like the first time they show him going to the Sandlot to just like engage with the baseball kids, like that entire sequence of him, like of him actually being invited to like get involved at all. And by get invited, I mean the ball happened to land near him.
Yeah.
Literally my fucking nightmare. Like his entire experience at the beginning of that movie is just like,
Display skill for other youth.
yes.
Yeah.
And like youth who care.
Yeah.
Like this, my child, there was a window of time in my childhood where every year my father would try to get me into a different sport
Sure.
because like it just, because it didn't take.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Gotta
it
try the
didn't
next
take
one.
because I didn't care.
Yeah.
But baseball was the worst one because like soccer, it was easy to just like move around and you're still like participating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But baseball, oh man, that was anxiety city where it's just like either you're at bat and you either fuck up in such a way where you just go back to your seat completely defeated or you hit the ball, which means you then have to do something else that you might fuck up.
Yeah.
And then otherwise when you're playing defense, you're literally just standing there until an opportunity that you might fuck up heads your way.
I still have the most visceral memory of standing in the outfield and the grass was overgrown. Of course, I'm wearing shorts and my legs were itchy. And I was like, no one is ever going to hit a ball over here. And if they do, like, it's like just sheer terror.
Yeah. I had the same
I
experience.
hated it. I
Interesting.
hated it so much.
I never played baseball, but my brother did. So I went to a lot of baseball games.
Sure.
And I kind of loved it because I could just go over to the concession stand and get a bunch of
Totally.
candy.
Yeah.
Some big league chew.
Yeah. Oh my God. Big League Chew is the best.
Watching
Loved it.
watching a real live baseball game is pretty nice. Like
Yeah.
it's a perfectly enjoyable
Oh
experience.
yeah. You're outside. I mean,
Ugh.
I wasn't like super interested, but I do remember like when he was younger, like that would be when there would be kids that were not really into it and they'd just be like laying down in the outfield and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That was my child.
That's
He
awesome.
signed him up for T-ball, and he spent most of the time sitting in the infield making dirt mounds and
Yeah.
then smashing them.
Yeah.
Oh my
Nice.
God. Same with my daughter. Don't dox me. No big deal. She I don't know what I was thinking. I signed her up for a baseball camp and it was with the Minnesota Twins.
Oh.
Oh wow!
So there were so many errors in choice here. And the main one was I signed up for a really the kind of baseball camp that attracts parents who also care
Sure.
and who have been training their little children to be really into baseball.
Yeah.
And then I just show up with like this 4-year-old who's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And she was like, all I want to do is the easy part. And the easy part is hitting the ball off the tee, but she didn't even want to hit the ball. She knew the goal was to get the ball to move, so she would just hit the tee
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then run.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard to watch. To be totally honest, it was real hard.
I love the idea that there's some other parent where like deep, as illogical as they knew it is, like they know it is, like deep down there's part of them just like, there's no rule that says a 4-year-old can't play professional baseball. Like they're just hoping for an Air Bud situation.
Yeah.
Where like their kid is such a prodigy.
Yeah.
I hope there are scouts at this 4-year-old camp.
I got roped into being the assistant coach of that baseball league.
No way.
Now I'm remembering. Yeah, just because no one else would do it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure my dad roped himself in an attempt to like make it more acceptable for me to be there, for me personally, or he got roped into it. I'm not sure. I should ask him. I just always assumed it was like a buffer, like a social buffer to be like, here's a familiar face, so you're not always just surrounded by all these terrifying children who actually care
Yeah.
and actually have a competitive spirit. Ugh.
And I should say, I like going to watch. I know I had a rant earlier. I like baseball. I like going to professional
I
baseball.
like going to baseball games.
I love going to a
Cannot
minor league
stand-
game.
Oh, yeah. Those are great.
Oh, I went to see the Chattanooga Choo Choos one time.
What?
Yeah.
That's a team?
It's a team.
Awesome.
And it was
Great
like
name.
the best experience. I really loved it. And I grew up in Atlanta during a time when no one ever won. It was like post Hank Aaron,
Okay.
pre like worst to first season in 91.
Worcester?
Worst to first.
Worst to first.
Worst.
Oh, I was hoping there was a baseball player named
Worst to
Worcester.
first.
Yeah.
Coming up at bat, John Worcester.
They have like some Worcestershire sauce-based snacks
Yeah.
in the
Or
stadium.
like everyone brings their own bottle whenever
Yeah.
he gets up to plate and just like shakes it around. That'd be awesome.
Anyway.
I like the idea of baseball.
Oh, fine.
Y'all.
I was not done.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Molly is now
Molly.
refusing to continue her story.
Every once in a while, I try and listen to baseball on the radio because that
Yeah.
feels like there's
Charming. There's a
just-
charm
There's
to
a charm to
Yeah.
it, right? But I can't.
No.
I don't know who the players are,
Exactly.
so I never know which team is at bat and
Exactly.
whether I should be happy that
Right.
player got a hit or not.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe you just got to listen for the vibes. You know?
yeah.
Sure.
It's
the
good. to
crowd
have that.
happy.
Anytime anything, anybody gets a hit, good for them.
Yeah, you just love. You're just for the love of the game.
For the love of the game.
You're just wearing a MLB cap.
That's right.
It just says baseball.
I would love that.
Amazing.
I would love that. Yeah, I mean, the idea of watching baseball on TV is like horrifying to me, but I like going to games.
My family loves baseball, and so a lot of text messages I receive are updates on baseball
Nice.
games that I'm not watching.
Nice.
Yes.
And so I kind of know how the Twins are doing most of the
Beth,
time.
was it your mother that at one point just sent you a text this past NFL season that just said Vikings question marks?
Yes.
Like plural question
Well, yeah,
marks.
because that's during football season.
Right,
Then
same-
I get
same
the
deal.
random complaining about a referee or something like that, and I'm like, I guess they're playing a sport today.
I love that one where it is just the name of the team and a question mark.
You know, when I first moved to Minnesota, I would listen to the Braves games, and it like actually made me feel like at home. I don't know. It made me
Sure.
feel it's like a connection point.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I watched a lot of really bad games where there was no one there.
Worst to worst.
It was bad. It was really bad. It was a long drought of losing games. You could get a $2 ticket anytime. You could sit almost anywhere in the stadium. It was a huge stadium, and it was just mostly empty. One time we were playing the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they all consolidated, right? Because there was like, I don't know if I can explain to you how empty the stands were, but all the Pittsburgh Pirate fans found each other and they out cheered Atlanta. It was devastating. Anyway,
Someone else who is devastated in this movie,
Yes.
The Sandlot, that we've been talking about the whole time.
We're kind of talking about it. Baseball.
Yeah.
On topic.
I feel
Yeah.
like we're as on topic as baseball announcers are.
That's true.
They have a lot of time to fill. Oh, that's what we should be doing. We'd be great baseball announcers.
Would we?
Well,
One of us would actually have to call the balls and
Yeah.
strikes. And I don't know who among us would successfully do that.
A 4-color commentary against one
Yeah.
play-by-play.
I feel like
It's worth a shot.
Best case scenario is Beth gives it an earnest try,
Yeah.
but then gets distracted by something more interesting, and then it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. I don't think I could do that for very long.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we still do, but local reference. Maybe we all know the head of entertainment at the St. Paul Saints.
oh yeah,
Oh, sure.
we sure do.
I was once hired to be Lurch for the
That's
Addams
right.
family
Oh,
right.
I
for
got
that St. Paul Saints entertainment.
I
Minor
got
League
to be
Baseball.
a usher-tainer. Was usher-tainer, is that what they called
Sounds
us?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time. It was brutal, but it was really fun. But it was a lot.
Yep.
And when you say get hired, did they pay you?
I don't remember. Probably
I did not get paid.
I don't think so.
I had in the back of my mind, like, surely they will pay us. This is several hours worth of work. And I had to come up with a costume and learn how to twirl a baton. And you know what? Did not get paid.
Wow.
But it was a privilege.
It is, again, a small baseball team with presumably a very small budget.
Yeah, an even smaller baseball team is the Sandlot
Yeah,
team.
so small where they needed smalls to even have a full 9.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they after one day of razzing,
Yes.
and Benny, the friendliest boy there ever was,
Such
Oh,
a sweet
he's
boy.
so sweet.
like goes out of his way, like far out of his way
Such
to
a
get this
sweet
kid
boy.
to learn to play baseball. Smalls, who keeps being like, "No, I can't. I'm a goofus. I have a dead dad."
Oh,
He's so
Smalls.
nice. Like,
Yeah.
he is like heart-wrenchingly nice.
Yeah,
But he's cool about it too.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not. Yeah,
He's like such a good model of like kid masculinity.
total, or any masculinity, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
that's how you do it.
like the point.
Boys, be inclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he doesn't. He waits until Smalls like talks shit about his own baseball glove before he's like, oh, here, just use my like I've got a spare.
Yep.
Like he always like allows Smalls to like make clear that he needs a push before he pushes.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Also, I love the fashion push. Hey, try jeans and a t-shirt.
And his hat.
Yeah, burn this hat.
With,
Yeah, you
like,
got a
the
fireplace?
largest build you've ever seen.
Which he doesn't burn because we see him wearing it at the end as an adult man, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the
But
same
now
dumb
it's
hat.
like a totem of youth
I
and
guess.
joy.
Sure.
What?
Wow, how
I
did
don't-
you feel about this movie?
I don't
Maybe
like
his
the-
dead dad gave it to
Oh,
him.
he probably did. It was a fishing hat.
I just didn't like the adult Smalls very much.
Yeah,
He
I
was
didn't
on
either.
screen for like 2 minutes.
You kept hearing him though. Every time he got some momentum in the movie, he would
Oh,
stop
sure.
and talk.
Yep. Someone else that we didn't like was Squints' ploy to kiss Wendy
Right.
Peppercorn.
Peppercorn.
Peppercorn. Mm-hmm. Great name, Wendy
Great
Peppercorn.
name.
Great name for like a random hot girl in your town.
Absolutely.
And apparently, it's based on a real lifeguard named Bunny who wore a red bathing suit.
From the writer?
From the writer's
Okay,
life.
got
Most
it.
life.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Yeah,
all
most
lifeguards.
lifeguards wear red.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can see him.
How old do you suppose
guess.
Wendy's supposed to be? I was trying to figure that out.
You got to be at least 16 to be a lifeguard, right?
I don't know. It was just 1960s.
That seems
Yeah.
right,
True.
though.
Maybe 1960s.
High
Like,
school.
can you swim? Do you know CPR? Great. Get on the chair.
She seemed at least 15 or 16 to me.
Yeah.
I know what she seemed like, but I'm just very curious what that was.
Do you want to know what the actor was or what the
I
character
don't know
was?
because I don't know how old the Squint's supposed to be either.
Oh, I have an answer to some of this.
Okay.
The
like
kids are supposed to be like 9 or 10 years old, but when they were
Even Benny?
casting,
Not Benny.
no, hold on. But when they were casting, they were like, "Oh no, we can't. That's too young.
Right. We cannot film 9,
This is
10-year-olds.
like just not going to happen." So then they started auditioning 12 to 13-year-olds, and the kid who played Benny was the first person to show up, and they were like, "Ah, great."
Yeah.
Got it.
And they were all pretty good. Mm-hmm. You know, playing baseball. I bet they had to throw a ball.
Yeah. I wonder if they had like a camp or if they were all like decent players already.
Yeah.
And by decent players, I mean like could hit a ball pretty
Yeah.
well.
I don't know. I feel like you'd already have to have some of those skills.
I mean, from my own experience, you do have to have some natural talent.
Yeah.
But, you know, I feel like sometimes they just found kids who could play, and
sure.
then we're like, "Can you say these words?"
Yeah.
Oh, if you can't remember them, that's okay. You're just going to repeat after this kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me think that they did cast for their athletic ability,
And
actually,
maybe just for
because
their
some of the acting
vibes,
skills
just
were
their
not
general vibes.
the best.
No.
But yeah.
Although the kid who plays Ham,
Yeah.
give that kid an Oscar.
Oh,
He did good. He's maybe the best one.
he's
Yeah.
so expressive.
yeah.
What a joy.
And he exactly fit the tone of the movie, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Used some real life and fun in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all did fine.
And speaking of fine, Wendy Peppercorn.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
The finest lady in town. Squints, tries to drown himself.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah, doesn't pretend, is drowning just to get mouth-to-mouth contact with Wendy Peppercorn.
Right. Which
Yeah.
is the lesson I said it was going to be a bad lesson learned. And the reason it's such a bad lesson is because he ends up marrying her.
Ah, I see.
And they have 9 kids.
Right. So, like, by the end of the
Because they be
movie,
banging.
the overall lesson is like, it works.
Oh, yeah, because she smiles at him every time
Yeah.
she sees him.
Yeah, I guess it's a charming because he like went, he took a big swing
Oh.
and hit a home run.
I do appreciate
in love.
Yes, I do appreciate like the movie. Like I appreciate the way they like presented Squint's crush, where like it's like she's so pretty that it like breaks his brain.
Yeah,
and it like he like actually like it's almost turns into rage because it's like his little hormonal body doesn't know what to do with himself.
Yeah,
you do
that
believe.
Felt real.
Yeah, by the time you get to that point, you do believe that would happen. Apparently, the director told the actor in no uncertain terms, no tongue. Absolutely none.
Oh, the
Because if you
Squints
think
actor?
about like the actress who had to like give mouth to mouth to some kid,
Right.
it's awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are redeeming qualities
Of the
film.
the movie or the
Oh.
kid?
of the movie.
Yeah, I feel
She
like we were
had
already
Cool
touching on some of them.
sunglasses.
She did have cool sunglasses.
She was very cool. Listen, she was cool.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
cool. She looked
Yeah.
like a real life Barbie. I don't mean in terms of like her, like just, I think it was because she had on like the white
glasses.
Yeah, the white glasses.
1960s
Yep.
sunglasses
For
and
sure.
her hair. I was like, oh my God.
And then the suit was kind of like that sweetheart
Yeah.
top
Yes.
neckline like that the Barbie with the black and white stripes is wearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing I appreciated is that, like, I'd appreciate the fact that, like, she is given some agency and she just calls him a perv and kicks all of them out of the pool.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that the narration even acknowledges, like, she should have beaten the shit out of him, which I appreciate because it also implicitly, clearly states she could beat the shit out of him,
yeah,
Yeah.
which is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again,
Squints.
kids,
Yeah.
don't
Manipulate.
manipulate the situation to have your first sexual experience.
Also, you should know that that's not really how people do CPR anymore. It's much more
So it's
about
not gonna work.
compressions.
Yeah, if you're going in for a smooch, you're just going to get a broken rib.
Yeah.
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 It's also just totally not safe to jump in the deep end of a pool if you don't know how to swim.
No, man.
Yeah.
So don't do that because, like, no guarantee the lifeguard's actually going to see you.
Speaking of jumping into the pool, we should acknowledge Wendy's dive is not great.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's
She just
fine.
has a lot of kick at the
a
end.
lot of kick, and I feel like she has her arms out too wide.
Yeah.
Which, again, she was
You could
probably not.
attribute to
Swan
panic,
dive.
you
She's
know?
16.
And she probably wasn't, they probably wasn't part of the audition for the role. It's
No,
like, can you dive into a pool?
I suppose you're not also trying to make it look like a nice dive when you're going to save somebody's life.
And I suppose the pool's not that deep.
Well, that's
so-
what I was thinking. It's like, because, yeah, it's kind of in the shallow
Right.
end. Like, they had her kind of positioned in a weird way.
She
Yeah,
had
I
to like
wouldn't.
angle herself.
Yeah.
So maybe, maybe it all works out. Maybe in the storyboards they figured out the exact angle.
Yeah.
Maybe she's a professional diver. We don't know.
We don't know.
But she's so good, she knows how to make it look bad.
Yeah,
That's
she's
right.
like, keep those legs as far apart from each other as possible.
Yeah. Despite the bad lesson for young men, I did appreciate the what?
Nothing. I had some stomach gas that I was
Oh.
trying to let out quietly.
Oh, so you were thanking me for talking so loudly while you were
No,
doing
but
it?
then Molly gave me a look that I think we were trying to share that we both were exhausted by this movie, which is true, but not what I was feeling in that moment.
All right. I'll stop talking.
And then I was trying to make it subtle, but then you said what? So
You
now
looked right at me.
That's because you're talking and I'm engaged with you.
Oh, well, thank you. There's a dog in this movie.
There is a dog.
There is this like comically oversized dog puppet for most of the movie.
Yeah, is showing
Like how they perceive.
perceive.
The beast
The beast.
versus Hercules, the sweet, sweet pup.
Right. Who is a big dog, to be fair.
Got
Like
hooch energy.
huge hooch. Like he goes full hooch mode multiple times
I
during
feel like
the
they
chase.
used half their budget on the chase. Like, there's so many scenes of like the camera at dog eye
Yes.
level,
Oh, yeah.
just going through trash cans.
and like stunt performers that have to like jump out of the way or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was glad that the cake finally flew in the air.
That was fun.
I liked how it flew in the air for not any of the reasons you'd expect, though.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch.
Yes. So for listeners who are less familiar, there is a dog chase, and it goes through a giant. Is it like a 4th of July
It
or
was
family?
called, it said
Founders
Founders
Day?
Day.
Founders Day, and the kid and the dog run right down a table, and there's so many moments where a giant tiered cake survives.
Like comically tiered. Like
comically
it's
tiered,
so tall.
comically chefed.
Oh,
Like it was
Two stereotypes
Two,
of chefs
like,
carried.
bookended by two
literal Boyardees.
full chef outfits.
It was amazing. Those were two of my MVPs of the movie because they knew their assignment, which was to be exasperated chefs wearing full chef outfits.
I would say I feel like one of them was more of a theater performer and the other was more for movies because the movie had a very subtle approach and the other guy was just like wow.
They do make intense eye contact as they get cake all over them.
Yeah. It is a little bit
and
like
I thought they were gonna kiss.
That would have been amazing.
Romantic.
I thought I just saw it more as like a Laurel and Hardy thing of just like, hey, again with this.
But it was also strange because the cake doesn't actually appeared to me that it doesn't actually land on them and explode. It seems to have exploded in midair. Yes. Have you explained this?
No.
Okay, go on. How does it work?
I was just going to say the physics of anytime someone got covered with something are not accurate.
It was always
like
a
when
bucket.
Ham cannonballs and like splashes all the women, like it's clearly just like some the movement of the water is too lateral for it to have splashed from Ham's jump.
Same with the cake. It does look like someone threw a bucket of cake chunks at them instead.
Like from the top of a stepladder.
Yeah. It wasn't like the cake is huge and only part of the cake hits them.
Here's what I'd like to think.
I guess the cake was made out of styrofoam.
Here's what I'd like to think. I would like to think that they
Is that true?
You'd like to think what? No, maybe it's not.
Fine.
What with the magic of film and nostalgia.
Do you know it's made out of styrofoam? Did you look it up?
Well, I assume it is because otherwise why wouldn't they just dump the cake on them?
Because here's what my pet theory is they did one shot of the cake landing on the dudes, but it didn't work. Maybe because theater chef was like too much or like was too audible. It's just like, Randy, you can't speak here.
Yeah.
Like we don't have the budget to pay you for speaking role.
He's doing a whole monologue.
So then they just had to like scrape up all the cake back into a bucket to just try to get the shot again.
I think they just did one take per tier.
Oh, maybe. And that was one of the smaller tiers.
Yeah. And that was the one that they kept.
Maybe. I love it. My other MVPs the MVPs of this movie were apparently pairs of men in ridiculous costumes tangential to the dog. Because my other MVPs are the burglars in the Story of the Beast, the Squint House, who are full-on Beagle Boys.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They have the striped shirts. They have little domino masks. They've got like the hats. It's great.
Very Christmas Story.
Oh, yeah. There were little burglars in that one, too.
Yeah.
Were there? Yeah. Kind of a wild flashback story that is like a black and white old timey movie.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question about that, which I thought was kind of weird? Why wasn't James Earl Jones in that movie? They had like a white man playing that part.
Probably because the kids have never seen him because they were terrified of him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who they imagined owned the junkyard.
Got it.
Because it's the 60s, so it, of course, must be a white man.
Yeah, okay. I just was like,
wait a minute.
Wait a second. That's not James Earl Jones.
Right.
That's not a real dog either,
Speaking
actually.
of James Earl Jones,
Yeah.
Can we all take a moment to acknowledge how he absolutely nails the two scenes he has in this movie?
Yeah.
I wish he were in it a lot more.
So warm and charming, but he also is like, he's got enough of that edge at the beginning of like grumpy old man energy that you could definitely see as being terrifying to a young kid.
Yep.
So I loved it.
He was great.
He was so good.
Turned out he was a big baseball man.
Big baseball man. He played in the Negro Leagues.
Yep.
I think was the implication, right?
I think so. And then got hit in the head with a baseball and lost his sight.
Yes.
Tragic.
Awful.
Cool
so
dog.
terrible.
It is terrible. Yikes. Hey, kids, wear a helmet
Yeah.
when you're at bat.
Yeah.
Really.
Those balls come fast.
They do.
I've seen
Scary.
movies where someone is training to play baseball and there's a speedometer. I know how fast those balls can get.
Yeah. They have one named after how fast it goes. Called the fastball.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow. I hope. What if they throw you for a curve?
Yeah, Bill.
They got one for that too.
Yeah, Bill.
Okay, I had a problem with Bill. Bill is trying to teach Smalls how to play catch.
Oh,
and he
Bill's
keeps,
the stepdad?
Yeah, he keeps throwing the ball too hard.
He's way too many steps ahead.
It's like just lob it over to him. He's learning how to use the mitt and everything.
His
and
masculinity,
it's just annoying.
his masculinity requires that he throw heaters.
And that he just repeat the same instruction over again.
Terrible.
Just keep your eye on the ball.
But also incredibly relatable.
Oh.
And then, Smalls gets hit in the eye and gets a black eye. And I'm like, that should never happen.
Yeah, Bill.
And his mom is like, get some ice. And his stepdad's like, how about this big piece of meat? Hold it up on your eye for an hour.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm like, if he's just learning how to play catch, like maybe a tennis ball, something softer.
No, you can't throw a softball at a man.
No, he's a man.
He has to be hard.
He's a boy.
Beth.
He's just a young boy.
Beth, it's only been a few years since we had to storm the European theater. Our boys must be hard.
Anyway, I just had real problems with how he was teaching
it was terrible.
him how to play catch.
You know, I made a prediction that there would be at least one set of Converse high tops in this shoe, in this movie.
Quite a
Man.
few.
There were quite a few.
Like in the first scene, I think we saw a pair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although the
first
real
kids scene.
hero shoes are the PF
Flyers.
Flyers.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
But it got me thinking. I know. I was almost like there. I was like,
PF
oh
Chang's.
no, don't say PF Chang's. Getting kind of hungry. They had I was like, well, how long have Converse been around?
Great
Because
question.
this movie came out in 1963, but I was like, I feel like it could have been in the 1950s too. Converse, the company has been around since 1912.
Damn.
And
Wow.
Chuck Taylors have existed since like the 1930s.
Neat.
And they're named after Chuck Taylor, who was a basketball player who went around and toured towns and showed people these cool shoes that had a lot more grip.
Yeah, I think they were maybe revolutionary for basketball in a way.
Yeah.
People were wearing just like, I don't know, dress shoes or whatever.
Dress shoe. Yeah. And so he added the canvas top.
Mm-hmm.
And a few other features and the iconic logo, and that's why they're called Chuck Taylors. Chuck Taylor edition. But anyway, so they've been around forever.
That's awesome.
And then, they were the basketball shoe. They had like 80% market share in the 60s. And then
Matt Damon
Nike
came
and
in.
Reebok were like,
Yeah.
yoink. And you don't see them on basketball courts anymore, but skaters were like, we'll take them.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Good grip.
Roofers.
Roofers like
really?
Converse?
They're good for standing because they're designed to sit on skateboard material, so they're good to walk on shingles.
Sure.
Unless for just hypothetically you've been wearing them for too many years and they've lost most of the texture on the bottom, and then you think that you're in pretty good shape, and then regret it immediately.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Hypothetically
Yeah.
speaking,
Scared of that.
I've never fallen off a roof, but I've definitely been like, "Oops, should have had newer shoes on."
I didn't know I was afraid of heights until I was up on a roof. I was doing a habitat build and they're like, does anybody want to do shingles? I was like, yeah. And I
Sure.
climbed up a ladder like I had done many times in my life. I was probably like 26 or something. And I was all of a sudden got like this wave of vertigo and abject fear. And I was like,
weird.
oh, my fear of heights has arrived. I'll do insulation. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so weird because it's like it can be so. Because I've like climbed up on my mom's roof for decades to like clear shit off because there's this giant tree and the neighbors. I don't know which tree it is. Kind of tree it is. I'm sorry, Dan. There's this giant tree in the neighbors that just like drops a ton of shit on the roof, and it's shaped in such a way where it just collects.
Yeah.
So I have to go up there every year, and it's so weird that like I've not really had a problem with that. But then if I'm like at a large mall and like look over a railing on the third floor, I get all queasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird.
Mine is almost entirely based on, is there a barrier between me and falling? Like, I do not like looking over the edge of something without a railing or something like that. Yeah. So a roof would probably not be good. But I don't think I've ever been on a roof.
I mean, with a lot of roofs, I guess the nice thing is that like there's a very narrow band of it where there's actually even an edge to look over. Otherwise, you're just kind of like seeing the vast area around you. So maybe it wouldn't bother your brain as much.
Yeah, maybe not.
I don't know.
We
Get
used
on
to
your
go-
roof.
We used to
We'll
go on
find
the
out.
roof all the time. We'd have drills on how to escape in a fire.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
That was over the roof.
Over the roof?
Yeah.
Like,
How do they make houses in California?
give me the rundown. Like, so you're in.
My room had a balcony.
Okay.
And so I would climb over the rail of the balcony and then be on the first story roof. Cross the roof to the gate that had some boards nailed on it. So it was sort of like a ladder. that
Okay.
You could climb down.
Huh.
Wow.
Neat.
Did any cool people like climb up into your room when you were a teen?
No. I was not cool. No one came in and I never went out. Just Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good you never went out because that means there was no fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never had to enact the escape plan.
But as you're escaping, like, can you just like reach up and grab like a couple oranges and an avocado?
Of course. Yeah.
Of course.
From your balcony.
Yeah.
Speaking of being up high,
Please.
they go on a Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel?
Ferris wheel.
Ferris
or
wheel.
a carousel.
Oh, there it is.
It's a
Ferris wheel.
It's
It's a
like a
tilt-a-whirl.
Thank you.
Yes.
I can't even talk about this scene.
Okay, I'll talk
we
about it.
can.
They beat the elite team who just show up.
Yeah.
There's like no context for them.
Yeah. It seemed like there was some. I almost wonder if there's some sort of like cut scene where they like are trying to convince Benny to like, right? Benny?
Yeah.
Benny to like join the team. And he's like, no, you guys are squares. Or probably what really it is that he doesn't have enough money to afford it.
Yeah.
Because it definitely felt very snobs versus slobs.
Yeah, those kids, you could tell they're rich
'Cause they
because of
had-
their very clean uniforms and their bicycles.
Correct. They all had a bicycle. It wasn't
Yeah.
even like some of them had bikes and the other ones were riding on the bikes.
Yeah.
Each one had their own bike.
Yeah.
Bunch of fucking riches
Yeah.
Or
coming to the Sandlot.
Benny is a Latino boy. Rodriguez.
shit.
Maybe they wouldn't let him in.
Ugh.
Ugh,
That's probably more accurate.
Yeah.
Oh no.
yeah.
Anyway, they just show up
Yeah.
and insult each other a lot until Ham levels the
The
ultimate
nuclear
insult.
option.
You play baseball like a girl.
After a lot of quaint back and forth.
Yeah. Farts.
Like
Butts.
too much. That's
That
maybe
went on forever. I was like, I could just see the screenwriter just chuckling to himself as he typed out insult after insult.
Yeah.
It was just like a much less charming version of A Christmas Story, where they put their tongue on the double dog dare, put their tongue on the
Pole.
the flag pole.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you made a movie. And you had kids double dog dare. You didn't go through 3 or 4 pages of other insults before you got to you play like a girl.
Anyway, they play against them and they fucking smoke them.
Yeah, not what I expected.
No,
Honestly,
me
I was
neither.
surprised. I was like, okay, they're going to get beat by the kids and then they got to train and then they'll beat them. That's how a sports movie works, which this is not.
Yeah.
But they just whoop
They
their ass.
smoke them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they play a lot
That's
of
true.
baseball.
That is
like
true.
they are just like constantly throwing the ball around.
Eternal
They're like
game.
the Beatles in Hamburg.
Excuse me?
Huh?
The Beatles, when they
Heard
were
The
of
band?
the band,
Yep.
when they were coming up.
John and Ringo.
Okay, oh God. Okay.
It's me, the Beatles.
We've just lost all of our British listeners.
Not the ones from Liverpool, where the Beatles are from.
Oh,
You play that guitar like a woman. Come down to Abbey Road and
I've lost it. I already lost it.
Almost a vampire. Come down to the road. I'll suck your blood.
Well, I mean, you know, to quote Paul F. Tompkins,
it's me, John Lennon, the creepiest man in the world.
they got a gig at a German club that
Okay.
offered like a place for them to sleep as well. It was basically like a hostel attached to a bar. And they had to play like 5 times a day or something.
whoa.
And so they just got really good. It was like boot camp for rock stars. And
Nice.
they wrote lots and lots of songs and got in 1 million reps versus like waiting a week or trying to land a gig or whatever. So
Yes.
that is what the Sandlot was like. They were playing continuously.
And they were playing to have fun, which the wisdom of Benny when he first is teaching
Yes.
Smalls how to play baseball is like, you're thinking too much. You just got to have fun. And those riches were clearly thinking too much because they were probably doing drills with their coach who's drunk and in love, right, Molly? That's what you wanted?
Yes. I was thinking of the alternative. Like I was thinking about the movie from their perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
yes. Anyway, they smoke their asses and they celebrate by having a just absurd amount of chewing tobacco.
Yeah, it pulls
Like,
out a bag like the size of a coffee bag.
it's like he bought it in bulk
Yeah.
and had it shipped directly from the manufacturer or something.
Yeah.
They all do chew and vomit profusely.
Too
on the
much.
top.
I
And it
can't
is
even-
too much chew. Like it's an
It's-
absurdly large chunks stuffed in their
Yeah.
mouths.
You know what? It's just
They don't know
also-
better.
We can just. I think the audience gets
It
it.
was great.
They
Yeah.
know.
That was pretty funny
It
scene.
was. It was a very bunch of dumb kids scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very accurate dumb kid scene.
Yep. That's kind of the movie.
Don't
it's
do drugs,
sort of
kids.
vignettes of summer.
Yeah.
We
And
do
baseball.
get a Babe Ruth appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can we
that's
talk
when I
about
kind of
this?
lost my mind.
That's when you lost it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benny has a dream,
Yeah.
and Babe Ruth steps through his door black and white and then turns color
That's
and just, I don't know, gives him
Imparts
advice.
wisdom.
Just tells him to go for it, kid.
But I think at that point in the movie, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I think I needed 2/3 as many back and forths
Right.
in
Let's-
each little vignette.
Let's get to the part that infuriated Molly to the point where she completely turns against this movie, because that we feel like there's an elephant in the room that we haven't addressed.
Oh, well, they lose the Babe Ruth.
Scott Smalls takes Bill Dennis Leary stepdad's Babe Ruth sign ball because he's like, oh, I have a ball at home because they lost. No, they didn't lose the ball. Benny gutted the ball, which was
That's
super
right.
badass.
Yeah.
Then he hits his first home run. Good for him, but also he's terrified because it goes into Mr. Myrtle's yard where the beast is, and he's horrified because he has to get his stepdad's ball back and doesn't even realize how valuable the ball is because he still doesn't know who Babe Ruth is. Then they all yell at him. And then there is a sequence of them attempting to get the ball back through more and more elaborate means,
Yeah.
which you both found interminable. And I acknowledge it was too long and there were too many
Yeah.
iterations.
Yeah, I think, 3.
Pare it down. Rule of 3, for
3 is good.
sure.
Yeah. Something
a
simple,
poll.
something a little bit more elaborate, and then a
Yeah.
big failure.
Like,
Hey guys, let's have the vacuums explode. At one point they used 3 separate vacuum cleaners.
yes.
And I guess the premise is that the vacuum cleaners explode.
Yeah, because the
and
beast.
instead of just turning them off, they all just bail.
They're dumb kids.
Ugh.
Here's the two that they could have dropped was
Yes.
there was one with a stick and then one with a stick with something on the end of it.
With a pan on it.
So start with the stick. The stick was funny
Yes.
because it was all frayed from the dog biting
That was
it.
a good. Yeah, it was a good.
Then
gag.
just go straight to the vacuum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then the erector set. I don't even know. You don't pick
And
one
then
of
they
those.
lowered one of the kids,
Yeah.
and then you knew where that was gonna go.
Oh, there's too many. Yeah,
There's
that's
too many.
way too many.
There's too many for sure.
and it. Oh yeah.
But they need that for
Listen.
the bungee jumping joke later.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
great
but
joke.
listen, if you're building up to a vacuum cleaner joke, I don't know. Somebody talk to you.
Why are
Oh,
you so fixated on the vacuum?
I don't know. I guess it irked me that they broke 3 vacuums and didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I see.
That's the one I would have kept.
Yeah, that's the
'Cause
best one.
The Timmy or Tommy who gets covered in dust, he
Yeah.
does have a very good bit. Just the way he
Yeah.
acts that scene where he's covered in dust and he's like, we've been going out this all wrong. I blame myself. It was very funny. It
That was
it was
good.
like big Wes Anderson energy of just
Yeah.
this precocious kid just getting himself fucked over in a comical way.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, but I couldn't figure out if he was Smalls or not.
No.
I thought he was Smalls too.
No,
Yeah, I
I
got
thought he was at
confused.
first too, but
The
no, it was Timmy or
Older
Tommy.
brother.
Yeah.
Timmy, what were their names? Their names were ridiculous, like Timmy and Tommy Timland or something.
I
like
don't know what
that.
the last
It
name was.
similar.
Yeah, and they
I
always
did like
say the
them.
same thing after each other.
LOL.
Yeah, it was cute. There are elements of this movie that I really enjoyed. I should
Yeah.
say that.
I think I get where they were going. I get what they were trying to do with the montage. Besides Molly's version, which is probably accurate, where the screenwriter was so happy at how clever he was being of all the different ways they could do it. But it did, it had that energy of this is absolutely what a group of dumb boys would do. It's their whole day is we have to get this ball back. And they're also clearly, they've elevated this so much because they think the dog is this massive T-Rex of a dog. So it's I don't know, it felt very Calvin and Hobbes to me, where it was just sort of so much of it was just they got so into it that they just overdid it because they were just this is what we're doing today. And if this were a real group of kids, there would have been an entire hour of them just drawing diagrams about how they were going to do it.
Oh, sure.
And they were just going to make a day of it and have fun.
Yeah.
So I get what they were going for, but yeah, it definitely felt like he's oh, the stick, then they make the stick better, and then they make the stick better again. So he's already done the gag, but then it was oh, but then we could. It's almost like he did it twice, and
Yeah.
that was the mistake, right? Because there was already the gag of they just kept getting stronger sticks, and the dog kept crunching them.
Yeah.
That could have been Done. That could have been the whole gag.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like, what if we did not 8 other things, but like, what if we just got to the point where they're like literally the union had to build a set for us for this scene.
Yeah.
For the movie.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear about that tree?
Yes.
So it's critical to this story that there be a tree house right on the edge of the property. And there was not a tree. And to get a tree that's old enough and big enough to meet the requirements, it would be like, I don't know, $100,000.
Yeah.
Like it's an insane thing. But somebody had felled a tree that was too close to a house.
Okay.
And they secured the tree. They bought the tree off of them and put it on a flatbed truck and got like the power company or whatever to remove cables so they could safely move it.
Whoa.
And they propped it up on the ground and surrounded it by cement. And that's what they used as their prop.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
That.
I mean, you
producer,
almost think
like that
find
PA
a
should have
different-
gotten a raise.
Yeah.
Good Lord, who found the tree?
I don't know. It was chopped down by a power company somewhere.
Wow.
So yeah.
Neat.
Yep.
Hold on, were you gonna lightly criticize the movie again? It sounded like that's where you're going.
No, I did want to just shoehorn in some Hank Aaron facts, if
Okay.
that's possible.
Sure.
Because there's a moment where Dream Babe Ruth.
Played by Art LaFleur, who we
right.
definitely all know.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish we did because that name rules.
And
Yeah, he looked
seems
familiar.
He did look
Yeah,
kind of
it
familiar.
looked very cool. He looked like the person. Anyway,
He kind of looked like if Robert De Niro and Richard Kind went into the Fly teleportation machine together, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. So at one point, he looks. Babe Ruth is about to leave, and he sees the baseball card of Henry Aaron, Hank Aaron, and he's like, I don't know why, but I think I'm going to take this with me. And there was some confusion in the room as to why
Indeed.
that was. Well, Hank Aaron, who played for the Braves, first Milwaukee Braves and then the Atlanta Braves.
What?
Yeah. Until 1976,
Change the
has
name.
famously broke Babe Ruth's record of 714 home runs,
Damn.
career home runs,
Wow.
with 755.
Nice.
And that 755 number stayed for a long time until Barry Bonds broke it in 2007.
With drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, asterisk.
Suck it, Bambino.
Yeah.
Sure, Bambino didn't use any drugs at all.
I mean, he was definitely using drugs. I don't know how
Yeah.
performance enhancing
Yeah,
they
I don't
were.
know.
I
If
mean,
anything, he was performance weakening. Is that
Yes.
what's the opposite of
It was heart
enhancing?
weakening, probably,
Yeah.
if nothing
y'all,
else.
I didn't know anything about Babe Ruth, but I now want to read a biography.
Okay.
At age 7, he was sent to St. Mary's Industrial School for Boys.
Excuse me?
Industrial
Yes.
school.
Does
It-
that just mean like clearing lard tanks or something?
I mean, I get all the boys had to work, and it was from like ages 7 to 18 or something. And basically, he was at age 7 considered a juvenile delinquent. That his parents owned a saloon, and I guess apparently he got in a lot of trouble. And also, some event happened at the saloon where they felt like it wasn't a good place for a kid.
Sure.
So he went to that school, but that's where he got introduced to baseball, because one of the main disciplinarian on campus also was a big baseball player. So that's where he learned his skills. Wild.
He was
Anyway,
like, pick up this steel girder and swing it back and forth.
but he had 15 seasons where he got more than 30 home runs per season, which is kind of incredible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Great Bambino.
The
No big
great,
deal.
The Sultan
Sultan
of
of
Swing.
something.
The
oh,
great
how many
clout.
times did
King
we
of Crash.
just cut? This is why it bothers me. I think it bothers me because I think a memoir always runs the risk of feeling self-indulgent. And so to have something like this where there was so much repetitiveness, I just was like, somebody get an editor and put some female characters. I know it's not fair. It's not his experience, but
Wait, was this a true story?
yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
The true story is that he had a really great summer and he played baseball. And one time he hit a ball over a fence. He went to get it, and there was a big dog there named Hercules. And then he actually got sued by the guy
Grease.
Zeus?
Oh.
who felt like Squints.
Yes.
The real live person who felt that Squints was based on him filed a defamation lawsuit against the screenwriter and the studio, and it was a huge lawsuit, apparently.
Squints is a creep?
Well, no, Squints felt like it was belittling and caused him emotional distress and so on, but the courts were like, no.
Huh.
So he didn't win. But it was fairly autobiographical.
Interesting.
Wait,
Yeah.
so
Did his friend really become a professional baseball player?
she
Unclear.
didn't care enough to look.
Okay.
I was really into Hank Aaron, guys.
This was written as a screenplay. It wasn't like a book that he wrote and then it turned into a movie. Like he just wrote a screenplay based on his childhood.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to figure out, like, okay, that
Yeah, I
makes
don't
more
think
sense.
there was
That
a
the
book,
Squints
yeah.
got to be like, hey,
Hey, wait a minute.
Before we get to our final reviews of the movie, we just watched The Sandlot. We like to turn to Discord, our text-based chat platform. But before we even do that,
whoa.
this very special month, we like to turn to the survey revolt.
Revolt.
The revolt. The survey results of our Respect Listener Opinions Month survey.
Nice.
We ask a bunch of questions. You answer them. Thank you very much. We always love reading these. It warms our cockles.
Yes.
Or our hearts.
Our
It's also
collective cockles.
genuinely
Nope.
helpful information.
All
Yeah,
of our
both of
cockles
those. Nope,
are
there are no
warm.
cockles. Keep going.
Tepid. I have tepid cockles.
Tepid cockles.
Me tepid cockles.
It's my cousin from over in Cockleshire. Anyway. I wanted to read just a couple of the ones that jumped out at me. I love all the comments equally.
Of course.
These are the ones I wanted to share.
These are the ones that you play catch with the right way.
Right way. That's right. Under the question, anything else you want us to know? So free form could be anything. Calling your voicemail is fun. People should do it more.
I
Love
agree.
it.
I agree, listener.
612-808-9.
The last four matters don't.
The last four letters don't matter, but you do.
Two cheese and pot. 612-208-9788 is the real number in case our song, for the three of you that didn't get it from the song.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Or just go to totesrecall.com.
Yes.
Exactly. I'm 56. My parents are divorced, and my husband is hot. NBD.
Nice. All right.
Just I like a good brag,
Absolutely.
and it hits a lot of notes.
That's
for
a
us.
full quadrant comment.
Yeah.
Wish y'all would do more sequels, especially of movies you've done before, and maybe a specific threequel that's part of a major franchise, and you've been putting it off for 7 years.
Hold on. Point of order. We have not been putting it off. Disney has been putting it
we
off
are
because
ready.
they didn't make enough money and stopped the machine for a few years.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming, baby. When that stupid Baby Yoda movie comes out, ooh, it's coming.
Is that real?
Yeah,
Or
I
are
think
you
so,
just-
unless they pulled the plug on that one, too.
Okay. Also, more old movies such as Some Like It Hot or other classics from the AFI 100. On a personal note, I've been struggling this year, and it is nice to have content to distract from the news. Thank you.
Oh, same.
You're
Same.
same. Yes, we all distract each other. Thank you. Last year, I had mentioned that I had met 3 of 4 hosts in the wild, and you had hoped to someday have someone walk up and say, "You are the 4th."
Yes.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it hasn't happened yet. I can provide clues if desired. Personally, I think doing a live show this year might solve the problem.
I see where this is.
Yeah, I would take hits. I love a annual little game we're playing with a mystery listener.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is. I don't think I've been met.
What?
But I don't think I've been met either.
Okay.
I feel like we would know. I think I know I've been met.
Unless it's like someone we know. Do you know what I
don't think
mean?
It's not someone we know. It's
Yeah.
someone who knows people we know.
Oh wow. Anyway, drop some hints. What are they hinting? Who the 4th is?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
That's
I mean,
the main
the
thing.
ultimate hint would be to walk up to them and say, "You're the 4th."
And
May
then,
the 4th be with you.
yeah, I'm not going to remember what that means. So if it is me, that's going to be terrifying.
But that'll make it so much funnier. You're the 4th. What?
It reminds me when my niece was 4, she used to wake up very early in the morning, and I was visiting, and so I was sleeping, And all of a sudden, I felt these eyes on me, and she was less than an inch from my face with these wide eyes. And she said, I am the first person up. You will be the second.
That's awesome.
It's so funny.
Oh, that's amazing.
And the last one I'll share. I really appreciate the group's dynamic and the healthy, positive way you all address societal issues. That works especially well because dealing with these issues isn't the goal of the show. There's a lot of ugliness in the world today, and your kind and hilarious banter is always a welcome distraction. Thanks for that.
Oh, thank you for that.
Thank you. And as I said, there's a lot more, and we thank you for them.
And we respect you.
And we respect you this month.
Yes.
Now, on to other people we
Also respect.
Because they paid money. Our text-based...
I feel like I missed my moment to just say I got a little teary reading all the comments. So even if yours didn't get read out loud, know that
They are read.
They are read,
Yes,
and they are
appreciated.
absorbed and appreciated.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Reference Machine says, I think they really nailed the feel of being a male kid. It's a shame some of the humor and the entire swimming storyline is so dated, because it really is quite charming the rest of the time. Of the baseball movies my grandmother made us watch, this was the one I liked the most.
That is so specific, and I love it.
I love it too. I love the idea. Oh, come on, sweetie. Come watch a baseball movie with Grandma.
Huge grandparent energy, where it's just
Yeah.
like a shelf of VHS tapes that are all baseball movies.
Yeah. LOS asked, what were the other baseball movies your grandmother made you watch? And
Yes.
the Reference Machine
Same question.
references A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I thought of, probably not for the children, but what's the one with
Old
Charlie
Durham?
Sheen?
Oh, Angels in the Outfield?
Major League.
No, Major
Yeah.
League. Yeah. Watch that.
Which I've
A
never
League
seen.
of Their Own?
Yeah. There was one called
Field of Dreams.
Little Big League, I think
Is
is
that
what
the
it's
one
called.
where his arm gets screwed up and then he can pitch real good, or is that a different one?
That's one too.
It's the one where a child becomes the manager of the Minnesota Twins.
Manager.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I used to
What am
think
I
that one was
thinking of
really
then?
cool.
I know what
'cause
you're
of
talking about.
Twins. No big
Twins.
deal. That's the local reference
The local
team.
reference team. Because of the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about. When some kid gets his arm messed up, and
But it somehow makes him-
heals, so it's like a super
Ooh,
rubber band.
That was one of the movies with the speedometer in it.
Okay.
Oh,
There you
nice.
go. Because
Yeah.
that's why they realized this child should play professional baseball.
This is not for children, but Moneyball is so good.
Oh, it is so
That's pretty-
good.
yeah, I remember
It
enjoying
won an Academy Award, I believe.
it. Oh, did it?
I think so.
Okay.
Is it Sleepless in Seattle where... No. Is it Sleepless in Seattle where they're in the stadium watching the game and they do the wave together?
That is When Harry Met Sally.
When Harry Met Sally. Oh. And Ferris Bueller has a great baseball scene too. But these are not whole movies.
It's almost as if baseball is America's pastime.
Oh. Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, I like the idea of baseball. I can't believe I watched so much as a kid.
Right.
They're so long. I know. Even with the pitch clock change they made.
What was the pitch
Which I
clock?
don't really
What was
understand.
the pitch clock? Oh, never mind. I was going to ask you what that meant, but you don't know.
Oh, now there's an amount of time that the pitcher has to pitch in.
Yep.
They
I
can't
see.
just
Dick around.
diddle their chalk
Excuse me?
sack up on the sound.
Yeah.
There was strategy
Yeah.
to it. There was once a Braves game that went 17 innings, and there were rain delays, and it lasted till 3 a.m.
Oh.
My family gave up around 11 p.m. or midnight, but I know kids who stayed all
Wow.
the way to the bitter end, and we lost.
Oh.
Wow.
Yep.
Tough.
They would just roll out that big rain cover, and it had Morton Salt ad on it. It was
Oh.
the Morton Salt girl with the umbrella, and
Yeah.
it always said, when it rains, it pours.
Nice.
Oh,
That
wow.
part was fun, but then you had to just sit there and look at it for an hour. What else did our Discord users say?
B asks, does the Sandlot have a Where Are They Now ending montage, or am I getting it confused with Stand By Me or something?
Yep.
It does
It
have
sure
that.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Let's
Can we talk about it?
please.
I love that they did that, but the device, the visual storytelling device they used was that every time a kid moved away, they didn't replace them.
Yeah.
So they had them like disappear in the same way they do in Avengers Endgame, kind of. I mean, they don't like turn to sand, but they just like,
Fade
Or like
away.
in Back to the Future. When
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Fade
it's just sort of disturbing.
Yeah, I mean, there's something very like,
Final about it.
yeah, it's like weirdly, especially with where it goes, where it's like, oh, he actually played professional baseball. Like there's this maybe unintentionally melancholy scene at the end where it is literally just Benny running around an empty diamond with the dog standing there, and that's it.
Yeah.
All his friends are gone.
Yeah, and it's weird because the narrator says when I left, I was the last kid, right?
Yes.
But you see Benny's not the narrator.
No.
No.
Right.
I guess maybe in his mind, Benny wasn't a kid. He was a hero. A legend.
A legend. Allegedly.
Nice.
Very
The best part of the Where Are They Now montage, of course, is the kid whose name I forget got really into the 60s and was never heard from again.
Oh, was
Yeah.
that Yeah?
No.
No.
Yeah, got sent to military school and then
Oh,
presumably
right.
died in Vietnam.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
He
Sorry.
didn't say
No, he
that.
didn't say that.
He invented bungee jumping.
No, Squint
No,
married the
Squint's-
woman he assaulted.
Oh. Yeah.
It's the other kid with glasses.
Yeah. I don't know. But I love how that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we get. And it could mean so many things.
Yeah.
I think he joined a cult.
For sure.
Sure.
That's my best guess.
Yeah. And then he now without them realizing it, he changed his name, sobered up, and works for Bain Capital or something.
Yeah. B also comments, this movie very effectively taught me chewing tobacco was gross and made you feel gross.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Indeed.
Oh.
Good job, Sandlot.
Yeah. Good lesson learned.
But if it's Big League Chew, it's great.
Rad.
Go
Oh,
nuts.
Yeah.
Super good.
I mean, your jaw might hurt later,
Yeah.
but go nuts.
Yeah.
It's so much gum. And when you're a kid, you don't like
There's no
parse
off
it
switch.
out.
You don't even
Like,
think about it.
No,
It's
you
like,
just
it's
put the
so
whole
cool.
thing.
Benvis asks, I think I might have the Sandlot confused with the PSA about hitting a ball into an old man's yard.
What?
Is there a scary place a ball goes so someone can be courageous about it?
Yes, but what is this PSA?
I don't know.
That's a great PSA. I want to watch that.
Don't play sports.
That's what it is. Like, hey,
This
kids.
is your brain on
Don't hit it into
neighbors.
old men's yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beware the old men of the neighborhood.
Don't judge a book by its cover, but also don't talk to strangers and definitely don't go into their house with them. But I get it.
He was so nice, though.
He was so
nice.
nice. I know. I was for it, but I was also like, I don't know.
But also take your friend. Don't go alone.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
fair.
that was very smart that they went in together.
I love that all the other boys are just hanging out outside.
I know.
They don't get invited to talk about
Well,
baseball.
what's great is, like, how long were they in there? Because, like, are they all like, oh my God, were we right? Is he actually an evil man and he's torturing
Yeah.
our friends?
And finally, my last name's a palindrome asked, did you have your own The Beast in the neighborhood you grew up in?
Oh.
Not in the neighborhood I grew up in, but when I summered in Maine, there
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
there was a dog named King,
Oh,
who was a
God.
German Shepherd that was often off leash. And my dad liked to take very long walks with his Sheltie, and we would go with him. And there was one where we were coming back, and King followed us
Ugh.
for miles.
Wow.
It seemed like as a kid. And my dad was like maybe he thought it was also fine, but to my mind, it seemed like we were trying to play it very cool,
Yes.
or else King was going to kill us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we're just going to walk calmly. We're going to keep walking. We're not going to stop.
But don't look back. Don't look back.
Yeah.
Do not make eye contact.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a known entity as I can remember in our. I mean, we had the king of our neighborhood. Like, I grew up with a 120-pound German Shepherd, but he was a sweet boy and he loved all people and hated all dogs, so it worked out for us. But there was one time where my brother and his friends, as I mentioned, I did not have any children my own age in our neighborhood, went off to, I don't know, some park / woodsy area that was near our house. And I like went to find them. And then, very much like the kids in this movie, like probably, and not as big as I remember in my head, dog, like just like I went into the forest, like where there was a trail and like the dog was off leash and kind of running at me. And then I as a child was like, oh no, giant animal, and started running.
Oh no.
So then of course the dog is like, yay.
Yeah.
So then I'm freaking out that this dog is continuing to chase after me. I run down to the frozen pond that really, in retrospect, and even in retrospect, like an hour later, it's like, oh, it's spring now. Like that was barely frozen anymore. That was really dumb to run across that body of water. But yeah, it was terrifying. And I never found my brother, so I just had to like walk back out of breath with wet pants. My mom was like, "What happened to you?"
It's awful. Well, I had moved to a new neighborhood, and I was waiting at the bus stop, which was like right across the street from my house.
Is this when you moved to Minnesota? And
No, this is in Atlanta, and this little girl had walked up from the hill, and she saw me, and she was like, "Hi, I'm Lisa." I'm like, "I'm Molly." We had a like lovely chat, and she's like, "Where do you live?" I was like, "Oh," and I pointed to our house, which is across the street. And she got very quiet and turned her body away and just looked very nervous and didn't say anything to me after that.
Oh no.
And I don't know how long that went on until finally I was like, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've always thought that house was haunted because the people who lived there before I did were really mean, and they had all these do not trespass signs up, and it was a pretty intense area." But I think
she thought you were a ghost.
she thought I was like, yeah,
Damn.
like I was at best case scenario Wednesday Addams,
Right.
Sure.
worst case scenario actual child ghost.
actual
And
ghost.
my mom was dressing me in khaki, so I probably look like I was not from this decade.
Sure.
So I don't blame her.
Wow.
So yeah, I was Hercules.
Nice.
I was terrified of dogs when I was a kid, and so all dogs were the beast to me, even if they were small.
Was there an inciting incident, or did you just kind of have a?
Well, when I was little, one of my cousin's dogs kind of like nipped at me, I think, and I think that was just enough to, I don't know. And when you're a kid, dogs are huge.
They're your height.
Yeah, if
or
not
height,
tall,
or
yeah. So I just was constantly running to my parents to pick me up anytime there was a dog around.
Yeah. My nephew has he had many run-ins with animals his size at a young age, and now he's like very wary of all dogs, which is a shame because my dogs are nice but very energetic.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad because like literally he's like has turned a corner in my house and faced my dog, who is at this point smaller than him, and he's still just like freaked out. I was like, oh no. But now we have the Chihuahua. I feel like that is successfully becoming like an ambassador for him. Where I think he even told my sister, like, I like that dog.
Yeah.
That dog's okay.
That dog's good. I'm going to steal it.
No.
My previous dog, Hippo, who passed a
Hippo
couple
dog.
of Christmases ago, was a pit bull and the sweetest dog in the world. And
Can confirm.
we had a play date with a little girl who was terrified of dogs, but trying to overcome her fear because I don't know, this makes sense in a kid's mind, but she really wanted a corgi.
Okay.
And she was like, if I can overcome my fear of dogs, I can get a corgi, which is technically a dog, but I think in her mind it wasn't.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
That logic kind of checks out.
It kind of checks out. And so we had kept Hippo in the basement, and all she had to look through was a little
So wait, you
cat
guys got
hole.
drafted into this?
No. We were just having them over. She and her family over because our
okay.
kids were about the same age and liked to play.
So this just worked out.
It just worked out,
Okay.
but we had to put our dog in the basement
Yeah.
because she was afraid. And Hippo just kept gently putting her snout through the little cat door, which by the way is shaped like a cat. On the front, it's like cat ears, and on the back, it's cat tail. You know what I'm saying? It's very cute. Anyway, so we had these little like cat ear window with, Hippo's little snout through there. And she kept like inching over, and then she kind of like, I don't know. And she was like, can we let the dog up? And so we let Hippo up, and Hippo was so chill. She was just such an older lady.
Yeah.
And they had a perfectly good interaction. And 2 weeks later, that kid had her corgi.
Yay.
Wow.
So
Exposure therapy.
exposure therapy.
Oh, man.
What a great story.
I look at dogs when I get home.
Yeah.
If you want a real treat, just look up corgi mix,
Oh, yeah.
because as some very accurate tweet or something years ago said, like any corgi mix just looks like a corgi put on a costume of the other dog it's a mix of.
Yeah.
And
my
it's
God.
true. It's
Amazing.
amazing.
There's a corgi and like a corgi lab mix in our neighborhood. I love seeing them out.
Hell yeah.
My friend wanted to make Halloween costumes for dogs that were just other breeds of dogs. So they could dress up like a Dalmatian or a pug or whatever.
I love that.
So good.
That is great.
I still own the URL Pug Genius. If anybody has a use for it, let me know.
Oh, do you hear that, listeners?
Oh, wow.
This is an opportunity. You're leaving money on the table.
1G total or 2Gs? You double
I
up?
think it's 2 Gs.
Okay.
Oh, good. Otherwise, they might think it's
PU genius.
genius. Which, hey. Poo genius.
Yeah.
Who the genius? Pooh the genius.
genius.
Poo the genius.
Oh, Dan, you were so tired.
I know,
Are you
I
going to make it?
I forgot that there actually is another segment.
Oh,
We're
buddy.
winding down. I already
You
closed my
closed
notebook.
your notebook.
I'm so sorry.
All right, our rating scales we all remember. Dusty Dog.
That's right.
The
Speaking of dogs,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. The Dusty Dog character, yet to be, what do you call it?
Voiced.
Debuted by Dan.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Dusty Dog is a dusty dog. He
Where's a duster?
wears a duster, has Pigpen style dust clouds coming out from him. Wanted to audition for the role of McGruff
gruff.
the crime dog,
Yep.
but is really more of a bounty hunter / old timey sheriff than a inspector.
That's right.
That didn't nail it.
Also a lawyer.
He's also
Of
a lawyer
course.
and is tan in color,
Right.
There you go.
the color of dust.
All right. Oh, sure. Okay.
Yep. I think that's it.
Okay.
Dan, you gave it 4 Dusty Dogs. Gert date.
Good date.
Cord date. Confident.
Right.
Kurt date.
Yeah, my Kurt date is coming up, so I really wanted to watch this movie first.
You gave it a confident 4.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. I'm going to cede my time to Dusty Dog. Well, hi, everybody. It's me, Dusty Dog. I just came from a serious murder trial that was harrowing. But I heard y'all talking about The Sandlot, which is a charming, nostalgic film about male childhood and the joys and tedium therein. It certainly is charming, but also is too long and takes its sweet time with a couple of montages and sequences. And I can see how Molly could get bored, though I don't understand the level of hostility that seems to be coming from her side. But that's just me. I am a dog after all, and hostility does not come naturally to me because I've been bred to be very dumb. So I'm just going to say that this movie is going to be right sweetly in the middle of 3 of me. A trio of dusty dogs. I was from a litter of 8, and only 3 of us survived. But it's fine. The other 2 are doing great.
That's
One
some
of them is
strategy.
a professional trapeze artist. Okay, I gotta go hunt down this philandering man who stole his wife's savings account. Bye-bye.
Bye, Dusty Dog.
He has a dirt bike.
Of course.
Kicks up dust. That's why he's so dusty.
That's right. Oh, he looks so cool with his duster flapping in the wind.
That's right.
Oh, I bet when he lifts up his little doggy goggles,
Oh, there's like a
just
little
dust
outline. Yeah,
rim
for sure.
outline.
That's for sure what
Oh,
happens.
so cute.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe he has little windshield wipers on his goggles.
I hope so.
Right? Is that right?
that's
Okay.
catchphrase.
Beth, you gave it 4 with room to grow.
Yes, I don't think that I can follow Dusty Dog, but I do agree with everything he said. So I'm
He's a smart
also
boy.
going to say 3 Dusty Dogs.
Great. I am dead.
Wow.
Whoa.
And you are tired.
I'm tired.
This wasn't even 90s children, and you're worn out by then.
I gave it a 2. I was a real down dog about it.
Nice.
I'm gonna stick with that. Seems like a movie I should have maybe watched as a kid, I guess. This must be a beloved film if it rates so high. And it's like at the time when it would be a movie that I would have seen a bunch, but I didn't. So I just don't have that nostalgia for it. And I found it tiresome.
2 dusty dogs.
2 dusty dogs.
2 dogging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finally. No 2 dogging
Finally.
in the film, so I will carry the 2 torches.
Dan has declared through prophecy that my sibling will fall from the trapeze.
No,
And
not Trappy Dog.
oh, Trappy Dog will, of course, unfortunately perish along with his wife in the trapeze accident.
No.
And his young boy will become the ward of Bruce Wayne. Okay, see you later.
Oh no, they're gonna send him to St. Mary's Industrial School
Oh,
for
no.
boys.
Molly, you give it a 5 because you
boy.
believe.
Yeah, you did believe and you respect.
Oh, I do. I still believe. I still respect. I feel so guilty, honestly, for being so mad at this movie. And I can't even articulate exactly why, though I have given it a good try at least 3 times on this podcast. So thank you for being patient with that.
Assuming Beth doesn't cut it all.
Oh, I hope she does. I can redo this, but I would give it 2 dusty dogs, but I'm going to add a dog out of guilt for the terrible way they've perished, and just guilt for not liking this movie more. Y'all, I appreciate you. Thank you for making us watch this movie.
It's a miracle through the respect of our fan base. My sibling Trappy Dog has emerged from the floor fully intact like a Looney Tune.
Thank God the third dog is Medic Dog,
That's right.
a doctor and a lawyer.
Trappy Dog is certainly the black sheep of the family. Our parents were expecting a lot out of us professionally.
I forget what Molly's dog was.
Oh, Molly's dog was Hyper Dog, I think, or something.
Oh, we had.
Because there's Rocket Dog. No, it's Jetpack Dog. Sorry.
Jetpack Dog is here. I was gonna save the trapeze dog, but I just got too into the 60s. And jetpacks all over. Anyway, the moral of the story is what Jetpack Dog does. Friendship. That's it. Wow, here comes Turbo Dog.
Oh, hey, it's me, Turbo Dog. I never remember how I talk, so I'm just going to mimic how everybody else
You are
talks.
I love how I have infected all of you with Southern-ish accents.
Yeah.
Well, I just got to go because nothing suspicious is happening with me. I'll see y'all later.
Hey, wait, are you wearing Jetpack Dog jetpack?
Never mind. See you later.
Oh, that jetpack has seen better days. I can't remember what your dog was called.
Yeah.
Hyper Dog, Skippy Dog.
Let's go
Was it
with
Rocket Dog?
Rocket. Did
Was
we
it
do Rocket Dog?
Maybe it was Rocket Dog. It was just like a terrible ripoff of Jetpack Dog.
Rocket Dog.
For the listener, Molly has put her hands up to her shoulders as if she is holding straps or putting her thumbs behind overalls.
Method dog acting.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Jetpack Dog's supposed to be more surfer.
Yeah, he's more like, wow, hey.
Whoa, Jetpack Dog.
There it is. There it is.
Wow. Jetpack Dog's back. Oh, Turbo Dog's cut the fuel line out of my Jetpacks. I got a beat feet.
Wow.
There it is.
Has anyone seen Turbo Dog? I've been hired to bring him to justice for the attempted murder of Jetpack Dog.
Oh, it's nothing to see over here. I'm just a dog with a mustache.
Well, thank you very much, civilian. I appreciate you looking out.
Wait a minute.
Oh, is that a horse?
The straps are back. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, right, of course, okay.
General the horse from 101 Dalmatians.
It's fine.
All right. We respect you.
Thank you.
Happy Respect Listener Opinions Month to one and all.
That's all a good respect.
Oh, that jetpack's got to go into the mechanic shop quick.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan DeQuette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.